Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. Today we want to present to all of you our movie review. We are from Group 2, Tab 2. I am Nur Awina Biha binti Osman and my friend Anis Karmila binti Jamal Khair, Nur Anis Farzana binti Baharin and Nur Isma Alia binti Hasbullah. Let's start. Our topic is pedophilia based on this movie, which is Silence.
여기 애들은 심심하면 막 이상한 소리를 지르고 놀아요. 자기네들 귀에는 안 들리니까 일부러 더 그래.
때려요? 장애 아들을요? 이건 차별이 아니라 폭행이에요.
그날 방과 후에 운동장에 놀러 나갔습니다. 교장 선생님이 들어와서 다른 사람한테 말하면 죽여버릴 거야라고.
아이들이 학교에서 그런 일을 당했는데 도대체 이게 누구 소관이란 말이에요?
그 사람들 어떤 사람들인지 알아?
돈 받아먹고 팔아먹는 놈이 좋은 놈인 줄 알았더나.
얘 그런 일 당했을 때 나 아무것도 못했어. 지금 이 손 놓을 수 없어.
Okay, so first I will explain the outline and the content of our presentation. Okay, firstly I will present the main character of this movie and my friend will explain the synopsis and the summarization of the crucial point in this movie, the case background, the problem faced, diagnosis from DSM-5, causes, intervention, and the conclusion. Okay, so let's start with the main character of this movie. Okay, the hero of this movie is Kang In-ho. And the heroine of this movie is Seo Yoo-jin. Also, the main character in this movie, In-ho's mother, Kim Ji-young, and the headmaster of the hearing impact in Muji City, which is Jang Gwang. And the victim of the pedophilia is Yeon-do, Yori, and Min-soo. Okay, after this, my friend Anis Karmila will summarize the crucial point of this movie and the synopsis of this movie. Enjoy!
이런 학교 처음이시죠?
안녕.
여기 애들을 보통 애들이랑 똑같이 생각하시면 안 돼요. 몸에 장애가 있으면 이게 마음의 장애로 이어지거든요.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I am Anis Karmila and I would like to share about the synopsis of the movie. As we know, the main character in this movie is Kang In-ho. Kang In-ho is a newly appointed teacher at a school for the hearing impaired in Mujin City. On the way to his new job, he becomes involved in a minor car accident and takes his car to a local car repair shop. There is already wrecked car is bumped by a woman named Eugene. Eugene is an employee at the Mujin Human Rights Center. On the first day at his new school, In-ho meets the school's principal and director of administration. They are identical twins. The director of administration asks for a bribe of 50 million won to work at their school. In-ho's financial situation is already in dire circumstances. His daughter, who is staying with his mother, suffers from asthma. In-ho's wife has passed away. While teaching the hearing impaired students, In-ho feels something strange about the kids' distant appearances. On his way home, In-ho noticed one of his students, Yuri, sitting on the ledge of her dorm room window, which is several stories above ground. He rushed into the dorm building and makes it into Yuri's room to pull her away from the window. Yuri then leads Inho to a door down the hall and stops. Inho goes into the room and sees the superintendent of the dormitory beating a female student named Yundo. Inho is shocked by the brutality and eventually takes Yundo to the hospital. Inho also makes a phone call to Eugene, the lady from the Human Rights Center who bumped into him earlier, and asks her to come to the hospital. Soon, Inho and Eugene uncover unfathomable action committed by the school's faculty against the students. Their work to break the children's silence is only beginning. They are struggling together with the children to uphold the truth by applying the applicant as plaintiff and as a witness.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Anisfazana. So today I will continue the presentation with the case background. Okay, the case that took place at Gwangju Inhwa School for Hearing Impairment. Second young students in that school were the victims of repeated sexual assault. The three victims that's been sexual assault by their principal and teachers, which is Yeondu, Yuri, and Minsu. The third human rights activist Si Yoonjun and Inho realized the school principal and teacher and even the police are actually trying to cover the truth. I continue with the background character in this movie. I have three characters. The first one is Lin Kan-soo, is a principal at Gwan Inha School. His twin brother named Chief Lee demand Inho to pay considerable amount of money as a contribution for school development fund. For example, he asked for 50 million USD to Inho work at their school. Inho called his mother and asking for the money, and his mother delivered 50 million USD by taking out the deposit money for their homes. He decided to fight for the children's right. For example, he goes into the rooms and see a teacher beating a student. Inho is shocked by the brutality and eventually take the student to the hospital, and at the same time he called his friend Yoji at Human Rights Center, asked to come to the hospital. Okay, the third Yeongdo, a female student who study at Gwan Inhwa School, she is being physically and sexually abused by the principal, and she and her orphan.
Now we are in conflicts and problems part. In this movie, we can see that there are three students that were sexually abused by the school faculty, which Yundo, Yuri, and Minso. Yundo and Yuri were abused by the twin, Mr. Lee Kang-soo and Chief Lee. However, Minso was abused by the male teacher. If you watch this movie, the beginning of the story, we can see that there is a boy committed suicide in the railway train. He is actually Minso's younger brother. Everyone must be wonder why they don't make the police report right. Actually, they did the police report, even the Human Rights Center. But these two of the agencies were bribed by the school faculty to not interfere with their business. Then, as a hero in this movie, Inho struggling to uphold the right about the violence which what the school faculty did towards the student. Inho and Eugene, the lady that involved in minor accident with Inho earlier, together with the three poor students, go to the court and apply the trial. Unfortunately, the trial are not their side because of the powerful principal. The judge who are in charge in the trial was bribed by that cruel man. In the last on this movie, Minso committed suicide with the same ways how his younger brother did. Minso cannot accept the reality what has happened, especially towards his younger brother.
At the second trial, the witnesses have been given a chance to speak up at the court and say nothing but the truth and only the truth. At this point as well, it shows that the witnesses are being fan of the school crew. Like, they are also teamed up with these teachers. But still, truth shows that it is written on the medical assessment that they have detected that these kids are truly being sexually.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Ismailia. We're going to continue to the diagnosis of pedophilic disorder. According to the DSM-5, the criteria of pedophilic disorder is when a person experience intense sexually arousing fantasies or urges involving sexual activities with the prepubescent children with age 6 months or specifically 30 years old and below. And also, an individual has acted on this sexual urge or the sexual urge have caused serious distress. Also, a person with age at least 16 years of age or at least 5 years older than the victim. When a person have met all the criteria, they also need to evaluate and specify which disorder it is, whether it is a exclusive type or non-exclusive type or limited to incest. Exclusive type meaning they only attract to the children. Non-exclusive meaning that they attract to both. Limited to incest meaning that they have a sexual attraction toward their own children, and they also have need to be identified whether it is sexually attracted to male or only female or both.
In time, they are now ready to tell her their stories. They took videos of the students explaining part by part of what those cruel people did to them. She was pulled in the room of the principal and was trying to show a pornography video. And then when kid who confessed is Minsu, he said that he was being raped by a teacher, and this teacher as well is the reason why his
Based on the movie, we found that there are 3% that diagnosed with the pedophilic disorder. The first person is Principal Lee and his twin brother Chief Lee, and also the teacher Mr. Park. Principal Lee and his twin brother Chief Lee has met all the criteria of the pedophilic disorder, and they are type of non-exclusive, which is they are attracted to both the children and also the adult, and also they are sexually attracted to the female. And the victim of the movie is 3%, which is Kim Yeon-do, Kim Yori, and also Min-soo. All the three of them are 30 years old below. And the third person, which is the teacher, Mr. Park, do also meet all the criteria of the pedophilic disorder, and he is in category of exclusive type, which is only attracted to the children, and also he is sexually attracted only to male, which is the victim Min-soo and his brother. In the movie, we found that Mr. Park usually sexually molested Min-soo and his brother at his house. So the 3% of this or the character of the movie do have all the criteria and type of the pedophilic disorder. Next, the causes of the pedophilic disorder. It is a damage on the amygdala and hypothalamus, and also often have very high self-drive. In the movie, it showed that principally do have a very high of self-drive. When he molested the children, he also took and record the video to use it later, and also to show it to other children. Next, difficulty in forming normal relationship. In the movie, Principal Lee already had a wife, but in the same time, he also had a secret lover. But the wife and his secret lover never know that he attracted to the children. So it is difficult for him to forming a normal relationship because of this pedophilic disorder, because he had pedophilic disorder.
Okay, now I will continue with the intervention that I have choose theory cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy is centered on the idea that in any given situation or interaction, a person talk, attitude, and belief. Okay, the main goal of using cognitive behavior therapy interventions with sexual offenders is to reduce sexual recidivism. Okay, cognitive behavior treatment include cognitive behavior treatment include the first, challenging cognitive distortions. Incorrect attitude and belief that support offending behavior. Okay, for example, a pedophile may believe that by engaging in sexual contact with a child, he is actually educating the child and acting in the child's best interest, or he may blame the victim and believe that the child was seductive. Okay, the second, addressing interpersonal skill, improve sexual offenders' appropriate communication skills. Okay, the offenders must learn that their intimacy needs cannot be met by their sexual offenses. Okay, the third, emotion management. Idea that a person's ability to cope with a negative effect is related to his psychological well-being. Okay, for example, sexual offenders must develop an understanding of how their emotion and feeling influence their behavior patterns. Therapies may facilitate an exercise when an offender get anger for sexual offendings. May notice that he start sweating. Okay. The fourth, developing empathy for victim, ability to connectively identify someone perspective, recognize emotion within oneself. Okay, tennis can be employed to help set offenders develop empathy for their victim using video and victim impact statement. Okay, for Islamic approach, from the Islamic perspective, Gadu al-Basar, or keep the eyes covering aura, the manner association between adult and adolescents, different sex, much more like it will avoid us from social problem. Okay, the second, the practices of spiritual form like zikir, dua, ruqyah are capable to avoid pedophilia. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, now I will continue the last part of our presentation, which is the conclusion and the reflection of our movie review. First of all, what we get from this movie review, we as the one who concerned about that, we must take action and take responsibility of it. Second, sexual assault among children will provide negative impact either on physical, psychological aspect, and mental to the victim for a long period of time. Third, parents should play a main role to educate their children from being victims of pedophilia and always be careful. Fourth, we get a new knowledge about how the intervention and the treatment towards the pedophilia. And the last, we need to be aware of person's environment and surrounding so that we can detect the symptom of the pedophilic disorder. So that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.